New York is one of the most iconic cities in the world. It's been famous for many things over its long history. And arguably one of the most notorious reputations it has built up over the years is for its crime. Throughout the mid-20th century, New York was pretty much synonymous with crime. You could hardly walk down the street without some mafioso trying to put you in the back of a car and shake you down. While thankfully today that is no longer the case, there are still some areas which are better avoided after dark if you know what's good for you. In today's video, be heading into the Big Apple to take a look at the 5 dark streets where the Mafia still rules. And make sure to let me know in the comments below if you think these streets are as bad as they remade out to be, or if you think their reputation has simply preceded them. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more crime content than anywhere else online. And with that said, let's take a look. 554th Street. The first place we have to talk about when discussing organized crime in New York City is the infamous 54th Street. Located in Midtown Manhattan, 54th Street was once a hub of underground activity, mostly dealing with gambling, drugs, and prostitution. The worst part is that this was all above ground. If you were to walk down the strip, you'd probably end up getting coerced into one of the many illegal activities that were taking place. The street earned its reputation back in the early 1900s and remained notorious throughout the latter half of the century. It was common knowledge that you didn't go down 54th Street after dark unless you had a death wish. Even the police force knew not to go there alone, as they often needed backup to deal with whatever nonsense they would encounter. Today, however, 54th Street is a lot less dangerous, and has even gained the nickname Glitter Gulch due to the many high-end clubs and restaurants now located on the street. 54th Street is now so tame that the only way you can get into trouble there is if you read drunk and disorderly, or if you start a fight. Still though, if you're in New York, you'd be wise to avoid this street at night just to be safe. 4. Hester Street. Hester Street is located in the city's Chinatown neighborhood and is considered by many to be the birthplace of modern gang culture in the United States. Like 54th Street, Hester Street began its life as an open-air bazaar filled with legit vendors and shops. However, as time went on, the criminal element of Chinatown began to creep onto the street and forced everyone else out. Soon after, the Chinese gangs took full control of Hester Street and turned it into a hub of illegal activity. Here you could find anything you wanted, from stolen goods to weapons to prostitutes, and if any outsider dared to step foot on this street, they'd be risking their life. For decades, Hester Street was one of the most dangerous places in all of New York. But nowadays it's much safer and a lot cleaner. While you might not get beat up or shot here anymore, you should still keep your wits about you if you venture down this road after dark. There are still many gangs operating in Chinatown, and while they won't target you directly, you may find yourself getting caught in the crossfire of a turf war if you're not careful. 3. Beach Channel Drive. Now we going to head out of Manhattan and into the outer boroughs, because we all familiar with how dangerous Manhattan can be. But did you know that there are many dangerous streets located in Brooklyn and Queens also? One of the most dangerous streets in Brooklyn is Beach Channel Drive. This street is located in the neighborhood of Arverne, has long been known as a place where the law does not apply. Over the years, Beach Channel Drive has seen its fair share of violence, including shootings, stabbings, and even homicides. Just a few years ago, 2 people were shot on this street during a robbery. Now that was just one incident in a long line of crimes that have occurred here. Thankfully, incidents like this are becoming less and less common nowadays, but it's still not uncommon to see police cars patrolling the area late at night. If you're ever in this part of Brooklyn, you're probably best off avoiding this street altogether, especially at night, when the crime rate goes up exponentially. 2. 186th Street. For our next dangerous street, we'll be heading up to Washington Heights in northern Manhattan. This neighborhood has long been a hotbed for gang activity and the violence that comes along with it. The worst offender is undoubtedly 186th Street, which has been called the most dangerous block in all of New York. Most of the trouble on 186th Street stems from the local gangs trying to outdo one another. They do this through acts of vandalism, intimidation, assault, drug dealing, you name it. It seems like these gangs will stop at nothing to assert dominance over the other. And innocent bystanders like yourself are often caught in the crossfire. There have been numerous reports of stray bullets whizzing over people's heads as they walk down this street. so it's definitely not somewhere you want to be after dark. Nowadays, the local authorities have stepped up patrols in the area to try and curb the violence. However, their efforts have been largely unsuccessful. Gang activity on 186th Street shows no signs of slowing down anytime soon, so if you're ever in the area, just stay away. Number 1. West 136th Street. Our final street is yet another one in Manhattan and is widely considered to be the most dangerous of them all. West 136th Street is home to a number of gangs, including the Bloods and Crips. These gangs are constantly at war with one another, which makes West 136th Street a no-go zone for anyone who values their safety. The violence on this street is so bad that there have been calls for a curfew to be imposed. However, the local politicians have been reluctant to do this for fear of trampling on people's civil liberties. With tensions between the gangs still being high, West 136th Street remains a very dangerous place. In recent weeks, there has been a spate of shootings on this street, leaving many people dead or wounded. As you can probably imagine, the situation is so bad that residents are afraid to even leave their homes, and who can blame them? When your life is constantly in danger, you have to prioritize your own safety. The local police are doing their best to keep the peace, but they're stretched thin and understaffed. As it stands, there isn't much they can do to stop the violence on West 136th Street. Thanks for watching.